Khurumjari. Dear learners, I am Saya Kumari Ningombam. I am pleased to present a short yet meaningful conversation titled Manipur Gi Yelho Masana Singh, translated as Indigenous Games of Manipur, between a grandson and his grandfather. Through their exchange, we will learn about some of the traditional games and sports of Manipur. These games are deeply rooted in the region's history, culture, and way of life, and are often played during religious and cultural festivals. They beautifully reflect skill, strength, and a strong sense of community spirit. Some well-known indigenous games of Manipur include Sagol Kangjay, Mukna, Yubi Lakpi, Hyang Tanaba, and Thangta. It is also important to note that modern polo has its origins in Manipur. Before we begin the main dialogue, let us take a moment to look at some important words that appear in the conversation. Knowing these key terms will make it easier to follow the discussion and understand how Manipuri is used naturally. Vocabulary: Masana, game. Lamba, opponent. Thangta, a Manipuri martial art. Sagol Kangjay, polo, traditional Manipuri polo. Kang, a traditional Manipuri game. Natki, traditional, cultural. Thauna Phaba, courage, courageous. Khangba Kanba, perseverance, endurance. Now that you are familiar with the basics, we can move on to the main dialogue. Pay attention as the conversation develops. Manipur Gi Yelho Masana Singh. Indigenous Games of Manipur. Chauba, Pupu Masikari Masana Kauge. Chauba, Grandpa, what is this game called? Pupu, Masi Mukna Kawi, Masi Ekoigi Natki Masana Amani. Grandpa, this is called Mukna. It is one of our traditional games. Chauba, Masimi Kayana Sana Doino Pupu. Chauba, how many people will play this game, Grandpa? Pupu, Masimi Anina Lamba Semduna Sanabani. Masi Thauna Phaba Amadi Khangbakanbagi Masanani. Grandpa, two players compete against each other in this game. It is a game that requires courage and endurance. Chauba, Masinataba Aikoigi Natki Atay Masanasu Laibra. Chauba, are there other traditional games besides this? Pupu, Lay, Mukna Kangjay, Sagol Kangjay, Hyang Tanaba, Thangta, Yubi Lakpi, Kang, Masana Singsu, Aikoigi Natki Masana Ngaktani. Grandpa, yes, Mukna Kangjay, Sagol Kangjay, Hyang Tanaba, Thangta, Yubi Lakpi, and Kang are all our traditional games. Chauba, Sanaba Haudore Pupu, mi ani thorakle. Chauba, the game is about to start, Grandpa. Two players have come out. Pupu, yamna nungay ni, yeng lasi. Grandpa, yes, it will be very interesting. Let us watch. This brings us to the end of the conversation. Now, let us revisit the dialogue once more, this time paying closer attention to each part. As we go through it step by step, we will explore the words and expressions in detail, helping you understand how they are used naturally in everyday speech. Let us begin with the first dialogue where the grandson Chauba asked his grandfather the name of the game. Chauba, Pupu, Masikari Masana Kauge. Chauba, Grandpa, what is this game called? Here, Pupu denotes grandpa and Masi, this. The interrogative phrase Kari Masana means what game, and the verb Kauge is called, derives from kau, to call, with the interrogative marker ge. Thus, the utterance means, Grandpa, what is this game called? In the second dialogue, the grandfather explains what the game is. Pupu, Masi Mukna Kawi, Masi Aikoigi Natki Masana Amani. Grandpa, this is called mukna. It is one of our traditional games. Here, masi means this and mukna refers to a traditional game. The verb kawi is formed from kau to call with the declarative marker e. In the next clause, Aikoigi Natki Masana Amani means one of our traditional games, where Aikoigi is our, Natki traditional, Masana game, and Ama one, followed by the copula ni, forming an equative clause. Thus, the utterance means this is called mukna. It is one of our traditional games. In the third exchange, Jauba asked how many players take part in the game. Jauba, masimi kayana sanadoino pupu. Jauba, how many people will play this game, Grandpa? Here, masi means this, referring to the game in context. The phrase mi kayana means how many players, with na marking the subject. The verb sanadoino conveys will play and takes the interrogative marker no, forming a question. Pupu means grandpa. Altogether, the sentence means how many people will play this game, Grandpa? In the fourth exchange, the grandpa goes on to explain how the game is played and what it involves. Pupu, masi mi anina lamba semduna sanabani, masi thauna phaba amadi khangba kanbagi masanani. Grandpa, two players compete against each other in this game. It is a game that requires courage and endurance. Here, masi means this, referring to the game. The phrase mi anina means two players and lamba denotes opponent. The form semduna conveys a sequential sense by setting or making them as opponents, with duna marking the conjunctive. The predicate sanabani expresses is played, where sana, to play, takes the nominalizer ba and the copula ni for assertion. In the next clause, thauna phaba amadi khangba kanbagi means of courage and endurance, and masana ni is a game, forms an equative construction. Altogether, the meaning is two players compete as opponents in this game. It is a game of courage and endurance. In the fifth exchange, Jauba goes on to ask whether there are any other traditional games apart from this one. Jauba, masina taba aikoigi natki atay masanasu leibra. Jauba, are there other traditional games besides this? Here, masi means this and nattaba expresses other than this or besides this. The phrase aikoigi natki atay masanasu means are other traditional games with su marking inclusion. The verb leibra forms an existential question. Are there? Altogether, the sentence means are there other traditional games besides this? In the sixth exchange, the grandpa proceeds to mention and enumerate several traditional games. Pupu, lei, mukna kangjay, sagol kangjay, hiyang tanaba, thangta, yubi lakpi, kang, masana singsu, aikoigi natki, masana ngaktani. Grandpa, yes, mukna kangjay, sagol kangjay, hiyang tanaba, thangta, yubi lakpi, and kang are all our traditional games. Here, lei functions as an affirmative yes. The series mukna kangjay, sagol kangjay, hiyang tanaba, thangta, yubi lakpi, and kang list the games, while masana singsu adds an inclusive sense these games also. The phrase aikoigi natki masana ngakta means all are traditional games with the copula ni forming an equative clause. Altogether, yes, mukna kangjay, sagol kangjay, hiyang tanaba, thangta, yubi lakpi, and kang are all our traditional games. In the seventh dialogue, Jauba just tells his grandpa, Jauba, sanaba haudore pupu mi ani thorakle. Chauba, the game is about to start, Grandpa. 2 players have come out. Here, Sanaba refers to the game. The expression Haudaure conveys is about to start, and Pupu means grandpa. The phrase Mi Ani means 2 players, while Thorakle expresses have come out. Altogether, the game is about to start, Grandpa. 2 players have come out. In the last 8 dialogue, the grandpa responds, Pupu, yamna nungay ni yenglasi. Grandpa, yes, it will be very interesting. Let us watch. Here, expresses affirmation, yes. The intensifier yamna, very, nungaini will be interesting. The verb yenglasi means let us watch, with C marking a mild suggestion. Altogether, yes, it will be very interesting. Let us watch. Dear learners, before we wrap up, let us take a quick look at a few more vocabulary items related to indigenous games of Manipur. This will help you expand your vocabulary and give you a better sense of how the language is used in daily life. Additional vocabulary. Yubi Lakpi, a Manipuri traditional game. Mukna Kangjay, a Manipuri traditional game. Hiyang Tanaba, a Manipuri traditional game. Kang, a Manipuri traditional game. Sarit Sarat, a Manipuri martial art. Ulaubi, a Manipuri traditional game. Sagol, horse. Kangjay, hockey. Haisingba, intelligent. Ngalingay, ancient time. Sanaba, to play. Long crow, a technique in Mukna folk wrestling. Low, technique in Mukna folk wrestling. Mukna Yatra, winner in Mukna. Kum, year. Ningthau, king. Nat Chatnabi, tradition, culture. Harau Kummai, festivals. Sanabung, playground. Yaiba, to hit. Langba, to throw. Dear learners, some of the well-known indigenous games of Manipur include Sagol Kangjay, Mukna, Yubi Lakpi, Hiyang Tanaba, and Thang Ta. It is worth noting that modern polo originated from Manipur. In Sagol Kangjay, the traditional form of polo, each team consists of 7 players who play on horseback. Mukna is a traditional style of wrestling usually contested between 2 male opponents and is commonly performed during the Lai Harauba festival. Hiyang Tanaba is a traditional boat race typically held in November at Thangkapat in Kangla and is regarded as a ritual sport. Thang Ta is a traditional martial art of Manipur that involves armed combat using weapons such as the sword and the spear. In contrast, Sarit Sarat is another traditional martial art that focuses on unarmed combat. Together, these indigenous games and martial traditions reflect the rich cultural heritage and historical depth of Manipuri society. Dear learners, in conclusion, the indigenous games and martial traditions of Manipur offer a window into the enduring heritage of its people. They embody not only physical skill and competition but also cultural continuity and identity. By learning the vocabulary and engaging with the dialogue, you have taken a step toward understanding how language and tradition are closely interwoven. Continued exploration of such themes will deepen both your linguistic competence and your appreciation of the rich cultural landscape of Manipur. With this, we come to the close of today's lesson. Thank you for your time, attention, and engagement. Keep practicing with consistency, stay curious, and continue discovering the elegance and richness of the Manipuri language as you move forward. Thagachari.